Thank you, Madam Chairwoman and members of the committee, for the opportunity to testify before you today regarding the impact of immigration reform on America's small business community, and specifically agricultural producers. My testimony reflects my own experience as a lifelong farmer. I'm also testifying on behalf of the Agriculture Coalition for Immigration Reform, the National Council of Agricultural Employers, and the United Fresh Produce Association. ACRE is the broad national coalition of agricultural groups working to pass meaningful immigration reform, and I just concluded my term as chairman of United this past weekend. My family and I farm vegetables and dairy in western New York. Our farm is now being run by the 11th generation, and the 12th is on the way if we are able to sustain the business. However, the lack of farm labor, the lack of a workable agricultural labor program, and immigration enforcement without a complete solution constitutes an immediate and absolute threat to the survival of farms like mine across the country. Some years ago, American farm families provided much of the needed farm labor, and local communities turned out extra workers for peak harvest needs. Times have changed. America's labor-intense farming operations are now sustained by immigrant labor. This is true of fruit, vegetable farms, dairies, ranches, nurseries, greenhouses, and Christmas tree farms. Federal government data shows that the majority of farm workers lack proper work authorization and immigration status. The U.S. Department of Labor's National Agricultural Worker Survey, or NAWS, reports that 78% of seasonal agricultural workers are foreign-born. There are about 1.6 million farm workers perform 25 or more days of hired farm work during the year. NAWS reported in 1998 that 52% of farm workers lacked legal status. Experts suggest that that percentage now exceeds 70%. This phenomenon is national in scope, not just a California and border state problem. Data for the eastern half of the U.S. presented by Dr. Dan Carroll of the DOL revealed that an astonishing 99% of new labor force entrants into the agricultural workforce in the eastern states in 1998 through 99 were not authorized to work in the United States. These statistics reveal that what we already knew. Americans are not raising their children to be farm workers. Domestic workers rarely apply for farm jobs. And in the absence of a reliable agricultural worker program, our industries rely on workers who present work authorization documents that appear, but in fact, not legitimate. This unstable situation threatens small business survival and economic prosperity, especially in our rural communities. My own story underscores how broken the system is. Since 1981, Torrey Farms has cooperated with the New York State Department of Labor to recruit farm workers for our operation. No one is hired in any position, whether college educated or cut cabbage or milk cows, without a referral from the New York State Department of Labor. The department verifies the work eligibility of the applicants in the same manner as most employers. It looks at all the allowable forms of identification specified on the I-9 form. Yet, we know of the high incidence of false documents. We were starkly reminded of that fact last October when agents of the Department of Homeland Security's Immigration and Custom Enforcement showed up at one of our farms. The agents kicked in the door of one of our housing facilities and proceeded to round up 34 workers at 6 a.m. in the morning who had been referred by the State Department of Labor. Referrals from the State Department of Labor to our farms have been apprehended on more than one occasion. Put simply, one arm of government recruits and refers our workforce, and another arm of government takes away. It's a crying shame that our great nation has failed to implement a rational legal system. If we do not see a solution soon, much of our food production will move out of the country. It will move to areas where labor is available: Canada, Mexico, South America, China. We are the largest employer in our town, among the largest in our county. We have a $10 million payroll amongst all our entities. This brings back over $70 million in our community. That does not include all the work that we do with suppliers and other small businesses. I just need to touch on the needed solutions. First, we need a reliable and affordable guest worker program. Second, we need an opportunity for trained, experienced, and otherwise law-abiding farm workers to have the chance to continue working and to earn the right to become permanent legal residents of the U.S. subject to strict conditions. Growers and producers are conservative by nature. We work hard, we pay our taxes. We care deeply about the security and the future of our country. We care about the rule of the land. We urge Congress to finally get the job done this year. We are in a crisis. Thank you.